Hello, my friends. This is Bud Brown, living in Dumaguete City, Philippines. Today, a dog jumping up here. Protector. As you know, I've got plans on going to Vietnam in the near future, and I've been brushing up on my Vietnamese, and I'm doing it by books, by certain tapes that I have, courses, and a program on the internet called italki. It's a tutor from native speakers that you can hire online. Tôi phải đi ra ăn điểm tâm. Okay. Come and chào nhiều. Okay, bye-bye. So, I got to thinking about when I get online, the usually younger, well, they're all younger, the younger teachers, tutors, they always, of course, when they look at me, they can tell that I'm older. And they call me, in Vietnamese, they call me Bác, and sometimes they say Chú, which means uncle. And I was thinking about, even in here in the Philippines, right away, people that are younger than me, which is most people. I just had a flashback. Me and Gloria were talking. She was saying, man, all the doctors here are so young. The policemen are so young. I told her, honey, when you get our age, everybody's young, looks young. But anyway, the Filipinos call me Kuya, which means older brother. And it's kind of considered disrespectful for someone younger to call an older person by his first name. And I kind of had a flashback of when I was in the States. Now, we Americans, we kind of enjoy our informality, and this is reflected in many situations where other countries would say either Mr. So-and-so or engineer so-and-so or lawyer so-and-so. In Mexico, if a person was a lawyer, you would call him Abogado Garcia, lawyer Abogado Garcia, or ingeniero, engineer so-and-so, his last name. And I noticed even on the news that they'll have a law professor or some high-ranking, and they'll call them by their first name. This is a lady that teaches law at Harvard University, Jill. Now, Jill, could you tell us? Well, I don't know, I guess I'm an old fuddy-duddy, but I would like to call people by their titles, but, you know, in the States, we'll do what is done. And that reminds me, too, when I was going to the dentist, my legal name is David, even though I've always gone by Bud Brown, all my life since I was a little child. But going to the doctor or the dentist or lawyer, anything that has to do with legality, my name is David Brown. And so even though I'm older, you know, my late 60s, they would say, David, the dentist will see you in a minute, or David, the doctor, even if it's a young lady or a young man. And it always kind of, well, not bothered me so much, but for my mother's sake, she was 85, and this young lady would come out, you know, the assistant or the dental assistant or doctor's assistant, and she'd be in her early 20s maybe, and she'll say, Norma, the doctor will see you now. And I always thought to myself, that's Mrs. Brown, come on. But like I say, I guess I'm just an old fuddy-duddy, but one time it backfired on me. I was sitting there waiting for the dentist, and I said to myself, if they come out here and say, David, the doctor will see you now, then I'm going to say something like, I don't think you're old enough to call me by my first name, or something smart aleck like that. So sure enough, the young lady in her early 20s comes out, David, the doctor will see you now. And I said, you can call me Mr. Brown. The lady said, oh, Mr. Brown, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. It was one of my former students, and I didn't even recognize her. But she thought that I was trying to give her a hint. I'm Mr. Brown, your teacher. So that was a good one. But anyway, I wanted to say that here in the Philippines, an older person can be called Kuya, or an older lady would be called Ate. So I would be Kuya Bud, Ate Glo, or Ate Gloria. And Gloria's funny. Sometimes people want to call her Nanay because she's old enough to be called Nanay, which is like mother. And it's an affectionate and respectful title. Oh, don't call me Nanay. And then I told her she likes to be called Ate. So it's funny how we feel comfortable and uncomfortable with certain titles. I know I have a friend in Dumaguete. Here is very common, Sir Bud, and his name is Matt. They call him Sir Matt. Don't call me Sir. You know, so he felt very uncomfortable being called in a respectful way, Sir. But here you'll see Sir, Madam, Ma'am, Ma'am. It sounds like Mom, but Ma'am. And I like it. I think it's very respectful. If you are here and you see a young man that's younger than you, don't call him Kuya, because Kuya means older brother. Now his little brother or someone younger than him would call him Kuya, but us being older, we wouldn't call him Kuya. And even I've heard a Filipino remark, he's like maybe, could have been in his early 20s, I don't like it when foreigners call me Kuya. And I can see why, because Kuya is someone that's older than you. You could call me Kuya, and my older brother, Lance, he's only a year older than I am, but I can call him Kuya, because he is my Kuya. He's my older brother. Speaking of Lance, he has sent me some videos and photos of his farm, so I want to update everybody. For the ones that are new to my channel, I have a brother that, an older brother, Kuya, that has a farm in Butuan, well, outside of Butuan City. That's in northern Mindanao. So that's a pretty good story. But anyway, this video, I wanted to just let you know that the people are very, at least from what I've experienced, people are very respectful. Ma'am, sir, and they'll say sir in front of your first name, Sir Bud, or Ma'am Glo, Ma'am Gloria, Ate Glo, Kuya Bud. And I kind of also wanted to remind anyone that's here, don't call anyone younger than you Kuya or Ate as far as that goes, because that's for someone older than you. All right, anyway, that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.